let's talk about shading using Desmos. So again, let's say I want to make like an ocean or a green front lawn. And so like I put in my horizontal line, maybe at y equals 3, but I want everything like below this line to be a certain color, right? One way I could kind of do this that isn't the best is, again, I could go here and I could change the line weight. That'll make it thicker, but that's not quite what I'm looking for here, right? I just want everything below this to be green because I'm going to make, I don't know, a nice nature picture here, right? So the way that you can do that is instead of using an equation, you can use an inequality. So if I want Desmos to shade below this line, then I want everything less than 3. If I want it above, I can do greater than 3. So I'm going to click this. I'm going to click the less than or equal to. I'll put it with the 3. And now Desmos shades everything below the line. Okay. Again, I could go here and I could change the opacity here. Or I guess not. Guess I can't. But there we go. I shaded everything below the line. If I wanted it above, I could just go the other direction. Okay, that's above. What if, say, for instance, I want it only between 0 and 3? Maybe I'm going to make a road, so I want like a little black road in the middle of this. Okay. If I want it to be between two numbers, then again, I would just say, hey, I want y to be less than or equal to 3, and then you put what you want it to be greater than or equal to on the other side. But I want it to be bigger than 0. Now it shades between 0 and 3. Okay. Again, you could do this for a really any type of graph. Like let's say I put in y equals x. Maybe I'm going to make a mountain. And so I want to shade everything below this line. If I want to shade everything below this line, again, instead of using an equation, I'm going to use an inequality. I use less than or equal to, now it shades everything below the line. If I want it to be below the line, right, but I want it to stop at, say, the x-axis here, so I want everything below this line, but I don't want any of the stuff in the negatives, again, just say what you want it to be bigger than. So in that case, I want it to be below the line, but I want everything bigger than 0, right? So I'm going to go here, I'm going to say I want this to be greater than or equal to 0, and now I only get that part that's above the line, okay? Again, the nice thing is you could use this for things other than just straight lines. Say, for instance, you put in a circle. Let me just make a random one. Okay, here's a circle. If I wanted to shade inside the circle, again, I would just change this to be an inequality. Now it shades inside the circle. If I wanted to shade outside the circle, there we go. Just switch to the other type of inequality, right? You'll notice that as I'm deleting this, Desmos deletes the greater than or equal to and makes it just greater than. That's why this is showing that it's dashed, because again, you can be right up to the circle but not on the circle. So if you want a solid line, you need to use the greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Okay. The last thing I want to show you is if I go back to my line here. So again, I got this. I have everything above 0 and I have everything below the line. But what if I wanted to like stop here at, let's say, x equals 60, and I want just this triangle part of the line. So I want this triangle right here, and I don't want any of this out here where my mouse is to the right. So the way I can do that is with the trimming that we talked about in our previous video. So if I just add an inequality, I can go here, and then I can say I want it to go from 0 to 60, and then stop. So in here, again, I can trim it with 0 to 60 for x, because x is left and right, and now it stops at 60.